Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bump and Run Booker joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot nanny.
Hey everyone, welcome along to Trackside with Kokpit, brought to you by GARAGE16. Back again for another Wednesday show to have a bit of fun, but we got something special after social media blew up around one female competitor creating history, and we thought, well, why not head across the other side of the world and catch up with her. But for now, my mate Books is with me right now. How are you, Books?
Oh, I'm doing bloody well, actually, mate. It's a bit cold, The temperatures dropped for us over here now. I think we might actually get a cold winter for a change instead of it being not as just a mild winter. I think we've had the last couple of years. But man, I went to that final meeting at Palmy on the weekend, and for the first time in about 2 years, I actually felt the cold. Shit, it was cold there.
Yeah.
The meeting dragged on too, which was a bit of a shame. They really. Yeah, I don't know, but it was good fun, mate. Good to finish off the season with a bit of crash and bash, and you know how it goes.
Yeah. No, I remember that from a couple of years ago when I was over there, no doubt a month earlier than you were. And you're right, it was freezing at Palmy. And yes, the temperatures have dropped as well. And we're getting a bit of warmth in the old home, like many others up and down the country. Wayne Alton, welcome into the show. Larson Whitaker. I tell you what you know about Wayne Alton is 156 days until opening night is the next meeting. Paul, maybe I'll give you a ring soon, mate. Looking forward to the go-karts back at Huntley Speedway, starting early at 11 o'clock. I will give you more details on that. Mike Harvey, how are you, Mike? Darren Letwood, Madu Goodley. Darren says, big happy birthday out to Darren's partner, Rachel. Tomorrow. So happy birthday to you, Rachel. I hope you have a wonderful day. And Darren spoils you. Keegan, mate, how you going, Keegan? Dave Thomas, Jack Wilson, Trent James, Thomas Scott, Beck Spray, Book, and also Wayne Alton's got here 27-28. I'm looking forward to being with Books down there, actually. The New Zealand Super Saloon champs. The details have been released. Yeah, can't wait for that.
But the thing is, too, that I've just figured out today is because so here's a bit of a talking point. Now, I think this is right. I haven't double checked it, so I'll just make the statement live and see if all our fans will correct us if I'm wrong, Kinser. But if I'm not wrong, with Wellington making their New Zealand Super Stocks later in the month than usual, that pushes the 240s out, and the 240s is the same weekend as the New Zealand Super Saloons.
Hold on. Are you sure?
That's what I was told today, but I haven't double checked that. So that's an interesting one because
Can I just jump in there?
Yeah.
28th of February.
Yeah, when's the 240s?
240s are January.
Yes, but the New Zealand Supers.
Super Stocks are 15th and 16th of January down in Wellington. Then the following
so there'd
weekend,
be a week's different. No, it'd be 16. No, there'd
and
be a
then
week's diff. So it'd be then 240s and then Super Saloons. Yeah. Is that right?
No. That's this. We'll go back to January, mate. So 15, 16 Wellington, January. And then you got the 240s.
Which is the following weekend.
Following weekend, still January, whatever that is. And then we'll end up going to Palmy teams.
Oh, yeah, February.
And then we go to end of February, which will be the Miani Super Saloon champs, New Zealand.
Yes. So that person had got it wrong. Yeah, but it was. Wait till I ring that person tomorrow. I'm not going to say her name because everybody knows who he is, and he'll get shit. So but he gave it. I didn't even think about it. He goes, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah." I went, "Hey,
wrong months."
But what he was talking about, actually, I think, So it's interesting though because it's an interesting thing actually because he made a good comment though because he's got that right though because you've got New Zealand Super Stock champs, and then you've got the World 240s, right?
Yes, correct.
So what he was saying, the person was saying to me was it's a bit of it's because it's at that later date, then what will happen is the supporting drivers for the following night of the New Zealanders that don't qualify may not stay and risk it because they've only got 4 days to get their cars sorted for Rotorua 240s. And we all know that the drivers don't want to miss a 240s. They'd rather miss a New Zealand championship than they would rather miss a 240s championship. So are we going to see, this is just, I mean, I'm trying to be, we talk positivity in our show, but it's just something to think about, and I hope that the drivers stay and support it, but they might not want to risk that damage, if you know what I mean, going on to the 240s with only 4 days to fix your car. So I think that's interesting. And I think it's, and I can see where Wellington's coming from. They want to move it from those normal dates because the weather for the last 3 years for them on that date has been mint.
Yeah.
So
correct.
They want to make it sure that New Zealand Championship goes ahead based on their weather patterns, which is logical, So, and we all know how the New Zealand champs have been affected each year for the last, 2 or 3 years since Huntley. So just after COVID, wasn't it? Where we saw Huntley rain out, Miani rain out. We saw Nelson rain have to go over. So, yeah, mate, it's interesting. But, I see all the dates starting to get released. I might have to give old Jace at the pits a ring tomorrow and see if he can give me some dates of stuff so we can sort out what we're doing. But we're definitely going New Zealand Super Saloons.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm already looking forward to that. I enjoyed myself. I know you were elsewhere and I was at Bay Park for their championship as well. It just happened that night it coincided with the New Zealand Modifieds as part of Jamie Foxx's farewell up at Waikaraka Park. But what they could clash, now you brought it to my attention, it could be another championship like a North Island Superstock Championship is an example on the date they will clash with the New Zealand Super Saloons because that traditionally sometimes is towards the end after teams always the end of February. That's what it could be they're getting mistaken with. We don't know the official dates. Yes, Superstocks, Super Saloons, and everything has been released in a couple other days.
And you got stock cars as well. We've amongst all that as well, Modifieds, even the TQs. I mean, based on the TQ racing I've watched this season, I wouldn't mind going and watching a New Zealand Championship of that, to be perfectly honest with you.
It's good, eh?
It's good. There's only one class I probably wouldn't sit down and watch, and we won't say that on here because that's just my personal thing, and I don't want to rubbish that class. But it's interesting. But mate, it's all good. Now the season's finished, we've got to look at our new season coming up, and I suppose there's a lot of people, the likes of, like we talk about Wayne Odd and Blake Speedway, they all plan their travelling and around and away they go. They hit some tracks. Those two guys, Blake gets everywhere. And covers it all for everybody, and Wayne's right there beside him. Those guys do some serious miles, so it's interesting. I suppose you've got to sit down. We have so spoilt for choice at the moment with our speedway when the season starts. Is you've got to sit and pick and choose. You've got such a selection to choose from. Where do you go? What do you watch? If you're a fan of all the classes, then it's a real pickle to figure out where you want to go. But if you only like, I'm a super stocks and stock cars, that's it. Well, then you're limited. But for those of us that love everything, it's on, isn't it? For choice, we're spoiled for choice, mate.
Oh, definitely. Over the seasons. And just quickly, I'll bring this up just to show that's the one that's on at the moment on Sunday, which is Rosebank Speedway. That's courtesy of Speedway NZ. You'll see the details there. But something else I want to quickly share that is on. If I just quickly go through this, and I'm actually going to head over to this too. This is season finale at Waharoa Speedway. Yeah. So they've got a few classes: North Island Street Stock, Speed Mini Stock Club Champs, but they've also got the stock car teams. Booker and I have been there. Of course, I done a few laps on a mini stock, and Marcus Tidd is keen to get me back out there and do a few more laps. And I'll do it one day, but at the moment, I'm going to throw my voice on the microphone and help them out with a bit of fun. And if I go along,
we were always going to go there and do a bloody do a live, weren't we? But I haven't actually got there. When's that? This weekend, is it?
Yeah, it's this weekend. And there's a teams race. Yeah, there's teams racing on as well. As you can see, the teams are released on their Facebook page. So team A and B, men's, women's, C, D type of things, everything going on. So that's what's on there. Is their great finale, and that's the event you may want to go along and check out. If you've got nothing to do on a Sunday, I'll head over there. It's not far from Matamata, and out that way. So, yeah, I just said to them, I'll share a bit of that and go over there, enjoy ourselves, mate. Have some fun.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Having that fun. Every time I turn away from my bike, everybody goes up and down. Tuning their volumes up and down. But I put on our post tonight that we were going to talk about our highs and lows of our season before we get Phoebe in here to talk to her. But mate, what was your high for the season this season? What was a standout moment for yourself? And you guys in the chat following, tell us your standout moments. It could be anything. What was your standout moment and your low moment? But something that you didn't really like this season, and I've got a couple of things in my head that I shall I go first, Ken, while you're thinking? Or
God, everything's bloody a highlight for me in the season, to be honest with you. I suppose one that stands out for me is going with my family and just watching the New Zealand Superstock Champs down in Nelson. This is something we decided to do as a family, not do any association as such. Yeah, I might have done the build-up with you on the Wednesday, but I enjoyed it, just sitting back as a spectator and just watching that event. Palmy teams, again, hands down, is great. The 240s, having obviously our guests with us, being part of that was awesome. Going to Bay Park to watch the New Zealand Super Saloon. All right, I've had a lot of highlights. Actually catching up with you, even though we didn't catch up a lot as we normally have over the season, but those are special moments what we did, and did it as a duo, and we had fun, met so many people. And I think that's the biggest thing for me I can take away from it, is we met so many people, and we're not shy to say hello, and we're comfortable with it now. And it's the people. That's what I'd love to highlight, is meeting the people of all ages. And yeah, I know you got massive highlights, mate, because you traveled the whole bloody country.
This year for me, my highlight was the Rees Tour. I mean, it was just, and getting to know a lot of people on that tour that a bit better, like Trish Woolley, I knew her, I met her like probably only a couple of times at the Speedway at Rotorua and a few other things, but got to know her and her husband Dave a lot better on the tour, and she helped me out with the cystic fibrosis stuff. And the Riddick family, we already knew Sharon and all that, but got to know them more, and Mandy and Maru, who I consider my family, just outstanding, and so many other people, and all the Gizzy people, and getting to spend some time and catch up with Vasey as well in his final year, because I mean, I go back a few years of Vasey when he first started. I remember knowing him back then at Palmy and stuff, and talk about the old days and stuff. But the whole tour was just fantastic. But again, like you say, mate, we met so many new people, and people come say hi, and and all the people that weren't drivers that got involved on the tour and helped us with the cystic fibrosis and all that stuff, and just going to tracks. And of course, I really, really enjoyed myself that night at Miani doing the commentary with that team up there. We had a blast, had some fun, and it was all about shits and giggles and enjoying yourself, and hopefully I might get a chance next season to join them again if Mike's busy and overbooked or something, because I really did enjoy that. It was great fun. It was just fun, mate. And the 240s, we had fun with Mike, Harvey and his wife, they Repco, mate, awesome. Sam at Huntley, I didn't get to go to Huntley as much and catch up with Red and Fiona and Annette and that, but that we did. It wasn't. It was just too expensive for me this year because I'm doing the Rees Tour, and I really did miss hanging out and catching up with Red and Fiona and Annette and all them and Tracy and. It was a bit of it disappointed me this year. I didn't get as much there, but next season we'll get there and spend some time at Huntley. But I haven't got the big Rees Tour to do, so I've got to save up and do something. So but that was my. I don't know what other people said. What they think. Some good meetings. We all went and watched, wasn't it? And I don't know what the fans are saying out there for their highs. Is there much on their Kins?
Yeah, I'll go through. But, the other part is just being back at Huntley, like you say, commentating with the team over there. Such a whānau team. Yeah, I look a bit red. I'm going to get some lights and all that sort of. Hey, Neil. Hey, Barry. P afternoon. Fender Benders. Caleb Ashton. Who we got in there? Shane Marshall. Cool 33 degrees in Philippines, eh? Good on you, Simon. Living the dream over there. Bex, end of February. We got that all confirmed. Michael Francis, Newton Gorge. How you going, Newton? Peyton Wilson, Craig Whitaker, Liam. Craig Whitaker's son Flynn's first season in a mini sprint and finishing 10 in the NZ Champs.
Awesome.
Liam Marsh, meeting Booker down south.
Liam Marsh. Liam, he had a ball too. Yeah. I'm waiting for him. We're trying to convince him to put a. They were trying to. He was another one. Put a G on his car along with Trenton. Liam was awesome. Yeah.
Mike Harvey, just commenting on what we did for them, hooking up and a chance to go to 240s. What else you got here? Reese, fantastic too from Neil. Evening lads, hanging out with Booker under the lights at the tower. Mark Goodman, and all the speedway stuff, all the people that we met, and everyone that comes up to us and say, this is the biggest thing I take out of the season. When people come up to us and say they appreciate what we do for the sport, that means so much. This is why we do the show, and that's what makes it all worth it. It's you, the fans that watch the show. We'll get you back at Huntley Booker, Mike Harvey. Yeah, that'll happen, mate.
Yeah, but, we'll get there. It's just like I said, I had a huge commitment with the South Island this year. My whole focus, and everybody knows my focus in the off season was to save and do that tour, and I'm really glad I did. And I got to raise some money, and the post Cystic Fibrosis put a post up thanking us today, Kins, and I shared that on our page. And we really helped them because they said things been real slow for them this year. So that 20 grand that we raised for them goes a long way, and that's good. It makes a difference, But I suppose the worst thing for me this season that is I suppose I've not liked is there's still the odd bullying that goes on, and we all know about how we feel, myself and Kins feel about our anti-bullying campaign that we run. Those shirts, so there has been some change. I've seen some people have bought those shirts and said, "Yep, we're going to get behind it," which is bloody fantastic. But the other thing for me, Kins, is some of the injuries this year are just not good. And we've got 3 that we know of at the moment that are still recovering. You got Jerry. You've also got Jace Jones, which a lot of people forgot about. He had the big one, but he wasn't as involved on the social media, so people sort of forgot about it. But he was the first one to get hurt. And
Taylor.
And Taylor, but the good thing about it is that I've heard that they are learning from this. So Speedway New Zealand are learning from these incidents. So it's bad. Like the problem is that one of them incidents was probably as a medical thing that caused the problem. Okay, so we can't. There's no way you can put anything into place that can help that, But the other ones, there's certain things that you can do in the safety side of things that can change. And they look at that and make changes, So it's good that we learn from what happens, and moving forward, we can do something in a positive light to make it happen less, I suppose. I mean, you're never going to get rid of it because it's a contact sport, isn't it, kids? So how you can't, there's no easy click your fingers, hey, that's a solution. It's a contact sport. And to turn around and say, don't let them hit anymore, well, that's just ridiculous. That takes away the sport altogether. Maybe you look at slowing them down, I don't know, or certain things that aren't allowed, like the hoops that go over to hold your foot on the throttle. Maybe we ban those because they're just silly, in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion too. People don't. This is just what my thoughts in my head I'm releasing. So it's not, it's nothing to be to say it's law or anything. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what you think, Kins, but I mean, that's the only low for me is some of those incidences. But to take the high out of that, mate, is how good's our Speedway family? Backing.
Yeah, and that's it. You nailed on the head. It's the Speedway family. It's the fans that love the sport and give out to the sport. It's those fans that turn up and put their backsides, trackside, and everything like that. But big thanks to all of those that do the live streaming. All these others that. Yeah. The biggest impact really for me has been the social media input on the growth of the sport, showing everyone has all these little stories, photos, pictures, everything. It seems to be the social media platform for Speedway. It's just in a high. You do have your negative stuff. You do have those critics who are all kind of SNZ people sitting in the chairs watching the bloody racing. But other than that, overall, I've had a lot of highs, mate. It's just been doing this show, bringing it to the fans. The fans make it who it is. It's those that we've interviewed of all walks of life, from all walks of speedway, all walks of motorsport. We've done rally in the off season. Booker went down south, did the big trip down there. We've spoken to so many, and we're going to do that in our next episodes coming up. We're going to go through and talk to all the tracks and get those promoters to thank you, the people that turn up and put your bum trackside, but also thank the volunteers, have an appreciation of those big events they've run over the season. What do they have planned for the off season? What's coming up in the new season? Maybe some of those big events. So we're going to travel from the south to the north and experience some of that. We better bring her in since she's sitting there with little Harry.
I think she's gone at the moment. She's not there, Bo, at the moment. She's ducked away. So
she's ducked away. No, she's
oh,
back.
there
She's
she is.
popped
I just
back in.
went back. Yeah.
So everyone's seen this young lady, Phoebe Wainman-Hawkins. We've seen her race in New Zealand. And when you think of the name Wainman, well, it brings a lot with it. What it brings, the name Wainman, is a lot of class and very, very, very competitive drivers. And she is definitely up there. It's Phoebe who joins us over on the other side of the world. It's a Tuesday morning, and I'm looking at the time. I'm guessing it's just gone 10 to 9. Good morning, Phoebe.
Good morning. Yeah, it's Wednesday morning here, I think. Yeah, Wednesday morning. And yeah, it's just nearly 9 o'clock. So, yeah.
Mate, Phoebe, when you follow a lot of speedway and motorsport social media pages and everything, your one's kind of popped up all of a sudden and blowing up because of what you achieved. So the first thing we're going to say on behalf of Booker and I and everyone that's watching the show back here in New Zealand, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Has it sunk in?
Not yet. I think it's weird because, like, I've just come back to my normal life, my normal mum duties. You know, I'm cooking tea, doing the laundry, changing a dirty nappy, and then I just remember, oh yeah, I won the UK Open at the weekend, and it just doesn't feel real. It's just weird.
It's a hell of an achievement. I mean, and also to be the first woman to achieve it in, was it
71 years?
71 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that must be a pretty proud moment for yourself too. I mean, like I often say to the ladies that come on our show, you're not a female racer, you're just a racer. But does it make you feel a little bit, does it make you feel proud to be the first woman to win it?
Definitely. I think it just makes me feel like if I can do it, there's no reason why other girls and women can't come into the sport. And I hope that there's some young girls out there at least, or women that look and think, oh, I'm going to give that a go because I've won that. I'd like to think that maybe I could inspire some young girls to stick to it or to get into motorsport. So yeah, it is really special in that way, definitely.
Yeah, I suppose the advantage that you have is your surname, basically. Yeah, when you think the name Wainman, that's been around in the sport over there in the UK for many decades, and what the family brings is a very, very competitive nature. And I guess you were born into it in some sense. And I know little Harry, who's just hopefully having a sleep while you, he was literally born into the sport, and you did a few laps with him.
Yeah,
in a sense as well. Yeah,
he's the youngest participant in the 240s, I guess, because I was pregnant when I did the 240s, but I didn't know, and I want to make that very clear because I wouldn't have raced if I knew I was pregnant. We found out in New Zealand the week after the 240s, so yeah, he was there with me.
Yeah. It's a nice story to share that as well. And just to reiterate what Phoebe has said, she didn't know at that time. So, don't go bloody stupid on the good old social media. But just to achieve what you have done and, at Skegness, is that right? Am I saying that right?
Skegness, yeah.
Yeah. To see what you've achieved. And, it's a cool little story. It's a real cool story. But not only you are proud of what you've done, Carl and all it's a family thing, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. Like so I raced Carl, my husband's car. Because
hold on. Before you carry on there, what does he think about that and what you achieved in his car?
Oh, he's so proud. He's so happy. But I do think he's a little bit worried he's not going to get his car back now. The thing is that I've not raced weirdly enough, that this was actually my first meeting back since having Harry. So I've been out of the seat for about 18 months. So, and they've taken everything off my car. So my car, like my pink car, is just in the back of the shed, and they've taken everything off it. There's nothing left. It's just a piece of metal. And so there was no way we were going to get that ready. And Carl said, "Look, you can race my car at the UK Open if you want." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." So it was my first meeting back, and yeah, I was really grateful to Carl to let me borrow his car. So
You didn't say to him, "What have you been doing all year, dear? I come out my first race back and take it out and win."
I know, exactly. What are you playing at?
So is he talking to you?
Yeah, oh yeah, no, he's so happy. I think he's just yeah. I think he's getting a lot of stick online though.
How the hell does that happen? 18 months later, you come back on the track, you borrow your husband's car, get out there and you go out there and win it. So what did Frankie Jr. have to say about this? Because he gets competitive as he was much like wanting to go out there and win it. I saw some video footage of him bumping a few cars as they do on the racing and whatnot. What did he say about all this?
So what, before the race or?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been desperate for me to get back out there anyway, because he just wants me and Frankie to race. So he's been asking me kind of like, when do you want to do a meeting? When do you want to do a meeting? And I just haven't felt ready, because obviously like I've got Harry and it's just a lot to try and kind of like work on the car as well as you've got a baby. And I was just like, oh, I just don't feel ready yet. And then I just mentioned to Dad and Carl, I was like, I really want to do a Skegness. And that was kind of when it came about. So they kind of like agreed between them that like I could race Carl's car, and that was the plan. And yeah, Dad was just super excited, because Dad, even he loves racing himself. Like he really, really loves. He still enjoys it, but I think he enjoys watching me and Frankie more than actually racing himself. So he was just so excited that I was kind of like getting back out there.
Yeah. What about Samantha? How was she?
She was really nervous. She was great because she looked after Harry for me, so that made it so that I was able to race. But she didn't say it until after the fact, but she was like, I'm so nervous because you've had 18 months out, and I was so nervous you were going to get hurt, and she was like, yeah, but she was so proud after anyway. So
How cool is that? I see the write up here on your Facebook page. To say we were delighted is a massive understatement. Pretty well sums up what you've just about said. The first F1 final win over her career and her first championship win. First meeting back, like you clarified, 18 months later after having Harry borrowing Carl's car. In your words, it was a brilliant weekend.
Don't start doing your English accent again, kids. They'll stop coming to talk to us on the show.
It was brilliant, eh?
So you cross the line and you know you've won. What's the first thing that goes through your head?
I think I did a whole lap just screaming at the top of my lungs because I was so excited. And I was just thinking, I genuinely just thought it wasn't real, because I don't know if you guys are aware, but I won the British Championship in V8s in about 2016-ish. And that was at Skegness, and it felt like an exact reenactment of that race, because I led the British from start to finish, and I remember taking the halfway flag, taking the lap boards, and it literally felt like an exact reenactment of that championship that I won in the V8s. So it felt really, really weird, because I was like, it felt like deja vu, and I like pulled up and I was like, God, this is so strange. And then I stood on my roof exactly how I did when I won the British, and it just felt so weird. It just felt like I'd gone back in time.
Oh, brilliant. And
That's awesome, hey?
Let's see if that's it. Is that the image there you're talking about there, just briefly? Oh, no, you can't quite see it. I think that's what the viewers can... Oh, yeah. It's you standing on the roof with the checker flag and the big smile.
Yeah, that's the one,
Yeah. Bloody cool, all right.
Hey.
So, after doing that, what you achieved, so Carl's not going to be back behind the wheel, obviously. When's your next race?
No, he is, yeah. He wants to race. We're racing in 2 weeks' time in Scotland, so we're traveling up to Scotland for a couple of meetings, and he's going to race it there. So yeah, I wasn't planning on racing, but I feel like I probably should now, but I don't have a car, so
Okay.
yeah.
So how far from where you are to Scotland? Is it like a day trip, or how does that all work?
Scotland actually isn't too far. We're quite far up north where we
Okay.
live. So Scotland for us is only a couple hours, 2-3
Oh,
hours. It's not that far. It's not too bad.
oh.
Yeah.
So
So
you've done that. You've celebrated with your flag. You've been with your family and everything. So what's the whole feel after what you've achieved there, and amongst the fans, let alone the other drivers, the crews, and everything like that? What's it like when you go back in there, knowing what you've achieved?
it's lovely because when you go back to the pits after you've had the car scaled and you've confirmed it's passed and stuff, you have all the fans kind of coming into the pits like to congratulate you, have photos taken with you, and it feels kind of, it doesn't feel real because it just still at that point hadn't really sunk in. I was just like, what has just happened? I was still expecting to wake up.
Yeah.
So I had all these people kind of like, coming up to me, congratulating me, and it's just so lovely that I had so much support, and like seeing the crowd, like how supportive the crowd were, kind of like when I stood on my roof and like on the parade lap and stuff. And there was one driver over here called Paul Hines, and he said because he was in the race but he wasn't sure who had won, and we have earpieces over here, and they confirmed the winner. So he was lined up and he just remembers looking at the crowd thinking, who the hell has won this race for the crowd to be going that insane? And he said it was like watching a football crowd. He couldn't believe it. So he was like, who the hell has won this race? And he could see his wife cheering, and he was like, who's she cheering for? Have I won this? And then they said over the earpieces, congratulations, Phoebe Wainman-Hawkins, 2-1 confirmed winner. And then he was like, oh, that makes sense. And then he said all the drivers on the grid were clapping in their cars and everything. So like him telling me that is just like, it's so nice knowing that I had that kind of support from not just the crowd, but the my fellow drivers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, eh?
Cool.
That's neat as, I reckon. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long have you been racing for now, Phoebe?
So I started racing when I was 14. So started racing in the minis when I was 14. So, and I'm 29 now. So yeah, however long that is, 14 years.
14, 15 years,
15
yeah.
years. Yeah, 15
Oh,
years.
no, you take a year off from that. You're right, 14 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow. Just
Yeah.
incredible, eh? That's very cool.
Yeah, like,
So have you had newspapers and stuff ring you for interviews and all that?
So we have
is it big over there?
Yeah, it's pretty big over here. We have a contact over here who kind of like whenever stuff happens, people win championships and stuff, he contacts papers. So it's still kind of like he's putting that forward to the papers, but I don't know if it's made it in or not. I'm not sure, but I've done a couple of interviews for like Stock Car magazine, and I think I've made it into Motorsport magazine as well, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
I'd say
Thank
Dad would be
you.
very, very proud, wouldn't he? He'd be probably telling everybody down the pub, look, see?
Very. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, what a like Booker said, a proud moment. Like I got a memory of you watching you at the 240s this year when you were racing one of the Apollo cars out there, and you were going really bloody good. It was until someone decided to put a bumper on you and put you out towards the wall on turn 3 from that memory. And it's like I was like, yeah, go Phoebe, show these guys up. It was really good to see. But then, what else? What our stock cars are like here in New Zealand. They got the bumpers. Mind you, in saying that, I've seen a fair bit of bumper work being used back over in the UK all of a sudden.
Oh God, yeah, it's rough here. It's not. It's not. It's not tame over here. To be fair, it's it's pretty rough sometimes. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on, I know you've been to New Zealand a few times and you've enjoyed your driving behind some of our cars, but what are your thoughts, like you said, the crowd got behind you, cheered you on, clapped you, applauded you for the win, which was nice. But what are your thoughts when you're over here watching the New Zealand Superstock Teams Challenge at Palmy? You got the big crowds in the grandstand. You've seen part of the in the square where they do the whole scrutineering on the fans. You've seen the hype of what the Palmy town does. What goes through your mind when you walk into that all the time, with the family, the GB lines and everyone?
There's just nothing else like it. I absolutely love it, and I'll be coming for as long as I can to watch teams, because I just absolutely love it. There's like the atmosphere, like every time I come back and everyone's like, how was teams? Like I try to sell it to everyone, and I'm like, you can't, like, if you watch it online, it's just not the same. Like, it is still great watching it online, like on a live stream, but I said you have to go there, you have to experience like the atmosphere and the crowd, and like it's just, there's nothing like it. I love teams so much. It's one of my favorite things in the world.
So apart from the British Lions, do you have another favourite team?
Yeah.
Oh,
Rotorua Rebels, obviously.
oh,
And I like the Busters as well.
oh, there we
yeah.
go. Oh, there'll
Oh.
be a few enjoying that comment.
I like what Wayne Oddens put here for you, Phoebe. Wayne, he travels around the country, loves the sport as well, and Phoebe might get a New Year's honour from good old King Charles for what she's achieved. We get these kind of fun comments in there. Carl Carpendale, how are you, mate? We're all good. Robbie Maybe, Terry Smith, Taipa. Yeah, they've got the big racing going on over King's birthday weekend. Will Phoebe now be in the GB team, Palmy, next year?
Yeah.
Hey? It's from Mike Mack, will you? If you ever got the opportunity, because Big Spas does it obviously for the Mustangs, would you think if Dad said to you, Phoebe, do you want to have a go sometime at teams? Would you say yes?
I know for a fact my dad would not allow me in teams.
Oh.
Nah, no chance. I wouldn't do it. I think it's just too brutal. I don't know. I think teams are just a little bit too brutal for me personally, and I know that my dad would never let me.
And I understand.
That's fair enough. Yeah,
fair enough. It's a fair enough comment. I totally understand it with young Harry and everything. Put that aside. If you were asked to do it, would you do it? Would you have done it if you were able to? Would you have a crack at it?
Now as a mum, probably not.
Yeah. Okay.
Before, if I were, I'd like to have a go as a blocker, probably not running. I don't know, I think I've just seen how much like people get hurt, and it just kind of puts me off a little bit, and I enjoy watching it too much. I wouldn't be able to watch it as much if I participated.
I could never do teams, mate. No, not in a million years. I couldn't do what you guys do now, to be perfectly honest with you. Everyone goes too quick for me. Holy snap and duck shit, they're fast out there.
Well, someone's got to be in there, and Bix, and someone's comments. Phoebe needs a guest seat in the Cowgirls. Yeah, that's the whole team thing. But we'll have to wait and see. But is there plans? I know you're a new mum now, and obviously financially things going to take a bit of a different focus. I would guess you'd love to come back over for 240s and 26 in the teams again.
Yeah, definitely. We are hoping to come back out. Like you said, with me being on maternity leave, I have to prioritise money a little bit differently now. And tickets to New Zealand aren't cheap, so we'll have to kind of like see where we are at financially closer to the time. But me and Carl are hoping to come back out with Harry, and he'll be 1 then, so that'll be fun on the flight. But
he needs to experience teams though too, doesn't he? I think.
Oh,
he's experienced it sort of, but he wasn't.
But he wasn't. He didn't experience it properly. He had no clue what was going on.
Good on you. And the rest of the family, how's the racing going on amongst the Wainman family at the moment?
Yeah, good at the minute. Frankie, my brother, that confuses everybody. My brother is doing really well at the minute. He's only done a few meetings, but he's got his tarmac car really dialed in. So at the weekend, he actually won one of the heats on Saturday, and he was like stupidly quick. Dad's doing really well. He's struggling a little bit with the car, and he really struggled with the car all weekend with the brakes and stuff. But and Danny's going really well. Carl's going really well. So yeah, we're all doing really well at the minute. Yeah.
Has Mum ever had a go at racing? I've never asked Mum when I've caught up with her in rotors and that. Has she ever had a dabble in racing?
Not she's done a few so over here we have ladies races. I don't know if you have them in New Zealand, but we don't really do them anymore because a lady got hurt a few years ago. But we used to do a ladies race, I'm pretty sure, kind of like every year, and they used to do them in F1s and in the minis. So mums would participate in the minis, and then wives would participate in the F1s, and mum's done quite a few of them, and she was really good. But it's just not for her. It's not something she'd kind of want to do full time kind of thing.
Well, when you say mum was really good, and we don't need to talk about dad, it's pretty well in the genes, you know? It was just,
Definitely.
it
I'm
was
very
just
lucky. My genes are good.
very much so. Oh, good on you. So, how has having baby changed life for you? Obviously, the focus is a little bit different. You've only just got back behind the wheel and achieved what you did, creating history after 71 years. But obviously, I guess focus really is little Harry, eh?
Definitely. I think even at the weekend, as much as I really, really enjoyed being back behind the wheel, I did kind of have that little bit of guilt because I felt like, I should have been with him and I wasn't spending as much time with him. And, I was feeding in between every race. And so it was really hard work. And like I said, I'm really grateful to my mum and my sister-in-law, Frankie's fiance, because they took it upon themselves to kind of look after him whilst I was on track and working on the car and stuff. But yeah, as much as I really, really enjoyed being back behind the wheel, I did kind of have that little bit of guilt thinking, oh, I should be prioritizing my baby really, but that might go away when he gets a bit older.
I tell you, it makes it though, kids, doesn't it? When you think about it, he was just saying, oh, feeding them in between races and stuff like that. And then you go out and win that big race. I mean, it really puts in perspective how well and focused you. Maybe that being relaxed and having a rush round after the baby is what made you drive. Maybe that's what you
Just
need to
chill
do
out.
from now on to get
Yeah.
you don't have time to think about too much that's going on into the race. You're just like,
Yeah.
oh, I've got to feed him and I've got to do this and that. Right, I'm in the car, let's go. And you win, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
that's the new strategy. Take him to every meeting,
Yeah.
hey?
Yeah. Want to get off track and get back to him as soon as possible so it makes me go faster.
Yes, I'll quickly win this one. Back over there, feed him. And
Back out.
But you're right. And that's it. That's what I was going to
Yeah.
allude to. That could be it. The focus is to get out of
There's
my
no-
bloody
yeah.
way. I'm going to get back in the pits. I've got to go feed my little fella.
Oh, and the thing to me too, I think it's a distraction, isn't it? Like you sometimes I suppose racers can get inside their own heads. I mean, we talked about people at the 240s we interviewed last year. He said that he wasn't going to go out on the night before because he didn't want to outdo himself in the head.
Yeah.
Well, Phoebe's like, I've got to feed Bubs and I've got to go do this, that, and then in the car, there's no second guessing yourself or chance to take that breath and start thinking about the race too much. It's just, right, I've just got to drive. And,
Yeah.
so, hey, it might be the turning point, the good luck having the baby.
Yeah.
Hey,
Could be.
hey.
So,
Have you got dogs too, have you?
I've got a little dog. I think you see a picture of her.
Yeah, I see
Ah,
you.
I've
right
got a
there.
little dog called Nancy. She's a little miniature Dachshund. She's so cute.
Yeah.
She's Harry's big sister.
Does he
So-
get? I watch a lot of those the reels and then on the Facebook stuff. And does he get all little protective and sit around the Bubs all the time?
Oh yeah, she hated him at first. She just pretended he didn't exist. But now that he's started eating, she's obsessed with him because he's always if he's eating, she just sits and like waits for him to drop something. So she loves him now.
So, with the trophy that you achieved and won on the weekend, this is from Wayne Orton. So, does that trophy go on top of all the trophies that the Waymans have won? It's just going to go sit right above everything else?
Well, it's on my dining table at the minute. So, and I've not won many trophies in F1s, unfortunately. So it's definitely taken pride and place for me. But yeah, it's huge. It's have you seen a picture of it?
No. So, how are you in proximity? Oh, I know Harry's by you.
I can show you. No, it's fine. I can show you. It's
cool.
massive. I'll
Yeah,
grab
so
it.
this will be a bit of a nice view for those fans here in New Zealand through our show. You get an exclusive look at this trophy.
Oh, it is big. Shit.
Holy hell.
It's massive. And it's so heavy. So I went around on the parade like my arm's dead. I'd raced this whole race and I was like, oh God, I've got to carry that on. So yeah, that's not taking pride and place on my dining table there.
Awesome. That's cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's
Thank you for that.
massive.
Yeah, thanks, Phoebe, for doing that. It kind of reminds you of a cup that we have here in New Zealand, similar size and shape, and it's called the Bledisloe Cup. The Australians wouldn't know because I've not won it for a very long time. So good on you for getting your name etched into that cup, and that will never go away. Your name is going to be on that cup forever. And I guess you look
Weird.
through that cup, and there's some great names over those many decades. at a race,
Yeah.
and now you've etched your name into that. That's
Yeah.
something that will
It's
never
very
ever be
surreal.
taken away. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
And like I was looking at all the names, and my dad won it in 2015. So dad won it in 2015, and I won it in 2025. So I won it 10 years after him, and I was like, oh.
See,
That's
Harry,
cool.
Harry. No, not quite 15, but maybe
Mm.
25.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. They can raise the funds over here at 16, so he might be able to do it 16 years after. If he's
Good on you.
good, if he's good.
That's the mum and you talking now. Do you
So-
reckon he is going to be a racer follow the name carry on through your little fella in years to come?
I don't think he has a choice, because it's just in his blood. Like, obviously, my side races and then his dad's side races. So he doesn't really. I think it's just inevitable that he's going to race. And Carl's already eyeing up motorbikes for him. He can race motorbikes over here at 3 years old, so he's already eyeing that up for him. So I don't think he has a choice.
So do you do anything else besides Speedway, Phoebe?
Hobby wise, no, because I just don't have the time. Yeah, just at the minute, I'm just enjoying being a mum and kind of embracing that part of my life before I go back to work. And but yeah, I think racing, especially when I was doing it full time, it takes my whole life really, because before I had Harry, I'd be in the garage kind of like most nights, some nights until kind of midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So as soon as you finish work, all you're doing is working on the cars, and so you don't really have time for anything else really. So yeah.
Wow, full time. It's unbelievable. In the castle, 1 o'clock in the morning. You didn't go out do horse riding, cycling, or anything. Just out of the nothing like knock back with your mates, your friends, and just do anything sporty or hobby wise.
I do. I used to have a horse.
Oh yeah.
But I don't anymore. That was when I was younger. But we do where we live, because obviously we live on a farm and we have a livery. So like people keep their horses there. And they do let me ride their horses sometimes, because I do miss riding. So I do that sometimes, but
Yeah.
only very occasionally.
You had a lot more horsepower on the weekend, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's not enough horsepower for me anymore.
There's actually a question there that's brought up. Oh, Mike Max got. Are there many other lady drivers in F1?
There's a few at the minute. So there's Catherine Harris, Tom Harris's younger sister. She's really good. Then there's Hannah Chappell. I have to remember the names now. Brooke Kitson, Lily Finnegan, Freya Finnegan. So they're Craig Finnegan's daughters.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna feel so bad if I miss anyone out. Jacqueline Ellis, so that's Lee Fairhurst's wife, or Jacqueline Fairhurst now. But she hasn't raced for a little while, but she's just had another baby as well.
Oh.
Off the top of my head, that's all I can remember, and I'm really sorry if I've forgotten anyone. But
So to round off this, must show what, half a dozen 10 years racing over there, 10 female drivers? Give or take.
I mean, at the weekend there was just me and Hannah Chappell. So they're not racing kind of every weekend. But yeah, so there's only 2 of us this weekend, which felt a bit lonely.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one here at the
more of
top,
us
so.
out there. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. It's good to hear how you obviously enjoying yourself, obviously, and with Bubs and then amongst all of that. And I know it's 9:20 Wednesday morning over there, and you got to get off sometime real soon to no doubt make you something to eat, some breakfast and everything, and enjoy your Wednesday here with Bubs. Is there anything else you want to say, Phoebe, before we wrap it up with you over on the other side of the world?
I'd just like to say a huge thank you to everyone for everyone's lovely words and support, especially over there. And a big thank you to Carl for letting me borrow his car, Dad and Frankie, and Carl obviously for getting me out there, and all our mechanics and sponsors. So just a huge thank you to everybody really, and to you guys for the interview. It's been really, really lovely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, look, likewise to you, Phoebe, and thank you for coming to join us on the show. Now we've been chatting on Messenger and whatnot, and again, on behalf of everyone over here, we thank all of the Lions and the Dutch boys, everyone that's associated with the Great Britain team, the World 240 team, that have come over to enjoy our racing and to be very competitive. And I know it doesn't come lightly, and I know it doesn't come cheap. It's a very, very big investment. Why so many here in New Zealand support you guys coming over, because we enjoy the entertainment you share with our fans on the track and off the track as well. So what you've achieved, I would guess every fan over here in New Zealand Speedway and Motorsport congratulate you once again, because 71 years, like I said in the interview, your name is etched into that big, massive cup for as long as forever. So well done to you. And we'll catch up when you come over to the country, and I'll let you go enjoy some time with your little Harry down there, what he's doing.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well done, eh?
Thank you so much, guys. It's been lovely. Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks, Phoebe.
Awesome. Thanks, Phoebe.
Bye.
Enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. We
Lovely.
go. Wow,
Yeah.
just amazing achievement, Kins, you know, like just, yeah, you incredible, eh? And like she was talking to us beforehand, how she was just casually saying to Frankie, you know, I'm just going to go out and do some laps, and boom, next minute, champion.
Yeah, I know. She wasn't even looking at going to try and win that thing. They're talking chocolate cakes and everything. Frankie wasn't going to have any of the chocolate cake because it might have put a bit more weight on him, because he was competing wanting to win it. But Phoebe, just like Booker said, she was just going to go out there to race, and she wins the damn thing. That's 18 months after having baby Harry, borrowing her husband Carl's car, and gets out there and does that. I don't know if we'll ever see something like that.
That's awesome achievement, mate.
Awesome,
it really
yeah.
is, you know. Like,
Yeah.
and it's good to have them on, you know, because I mean, as New Zealand Kiwis here of our speedway, we follow and love supporting the Brits when they come here, and we all watch the F1. And of course, we've got Joshy's going to be heading over there. Josh Prentice is heading over there. I think someone else told us the other day they were going over to race too. Who was that? Can't remember now. Someone did. But yeah, hey, listen, if anyone out there has got anything they'd like to donate for the auction for Joshy's night, we'll be there going live from his club rooms, so you can bid on those auction things as well from online when we go live, like we did at Huntley, and like we did for Ashes, I think, at the Speedway Garage. So
Correct.
if you've got something you'd like to donate, get hold of us, or get hold of Josh, or get hold of Sam and Sam at Gisborne. Sam or Samantha, I should say. So there you go. Yeah, get behind it, and let's help Joshy get there like we have all the rest, you know?
Definitely. You know, those type of things, they do want to do it. They want to represent the country and everything like that. And they definitely want to get over there and race alongside like the Waymans and many others. You know, they come over to our country as well. But yeah, you know, it was really cool to catch up, Phoebe. And when we saw the post going over the weekend and blowing up and achieving what she'd done, when you think what she explained to you as the viewers and how she got there and did it all. And why not get on and have her on the show to experience all of that? And it's really cool, because you've got to put it in perspective. She's a mum out there, a new mum at that. She needs to get back to her little Harry, do what mum's got to do.
Mate, you have a big break, come out and you take out the championship like that, mate. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But hey, look, thank you all for tuning in tonight and listening to our interview with her. She was awesome. I mean, great speaker. And she was talking about how Frankie was the speaker, but I don't know. Hey, but awards are closed. The nominations now are closed for Speedway Awards. So I would expect over the next few weeks we'll see who's best team, best drivers, and who made the finalists of what, where, and who, and how, and when.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a fantastic season, Kins.
It's been outstanding.
Yeah,
Hey,
we started our season with the show of building up with all the tracks. We went from the South Island to North Island with all the promoters to say what was going on. Yep. Starting next week, we'll work our way from the top of the North down to the bottom of the South, and bring you wrap-ups from all the tracks as well, Kins.
Yeah, definitely look forward to that. And I see Rachel here, Darren's birthday on Sunday, so I know it's Rachel's birthday tomorrow. Darren, it's his birthday on Sunday, so both of you have a wonderful birthday. Hey, Mike Mac, good to have all your questions popping in. Amron, how you going, bro? And I see he's done a bit of an update on his Speedway of Excellence Awards. The proof right there, girls can do anything. Pretty well right there, Wayne. That's about it on the wrap, I would guess. But otherwise, you're heading down to Rosebank to watch some of that racing, the Waihi Beach, they've got a bit of a racing wrapping up this season. I think it's just a fun day for anyone out there. Wahuro Speedway on Sunday, they got some teams, the big grand finale. I think it's a CTRA street stocks going on. Going to go throw my voice on the microphone over there and just enjoy the day. But for anyone out there, once again, enjoy yourself, be safe, be positive, and we'll catch you back, like Booker said, 7:30 here on Trackside with Kokpit, thanks to Garage16.
Absolutely. And don't forget, there's still those good little pages for the two drivers, for Jerry Linklater and Mr. Lamp. Go look them up. I think we have put links up, maybe. I have to have a look on our page. But yeah, show them some support. The Wanganui Warriors were walking around Palmy on Saturday night with buckets. That was awesome to see. But yeah, get behind these people and help, and get behind Josh for the UK. Let's do it. We're one big family. We can make it happen. So
Yeah, like
thanks for tuning in.
Let's rock this chicken.
Let's rock this chicken, man. Absolutely. Okay, team, thank you so much. We'll see you same time, same bat channel next week. Thanks very much from me and Kins. Cheers.
Holy snapping duck shit.
My good mate from Bub and Run Booker joins us.
I'm excited for another great show tonight. Give it the hoot, Natty.